Hello everybody and welcome to Dynamic GT League's Xanassin Trophy for a race 4 around the fantastic Spa-Francorchamps circuit. Before we check out all of the action though, let's have a look at what the current championship standings are like. Demon R leading the way by 10 points, he's on 51, SGP on 41 in second place, Mandalorian not too far behind in third, and then Dave the Harp 4th, tied with Steve F1. Tyler in 6th, Twilight 7th, Jason 8th, Mitch 9th, Fluffy 10th, and 30 points covers the top 10 drivers. We then got Bunsell, Rich Blues, Formula Gary, Groover, SRI, Jimmy and Conrad all battling hard in the lower half of the championship. Qualifying was very interesting around Spa. It's a long circuit and it's a tricky one to get a fast lap in, but SGP managed to do exactly that and take pole position just ahead of Steve F1 by the smallest of margins. Jason lines up on row 2 next to Demon R, and on row 3 we've got Mitch and Mandalorian. Row 4 we see Dave the Harp and Tyler line up next to each other, while on row 5 we've got Fluffy Planet, who is the victim of the spy cam today, and Twilight alongside him. Row 6 we'll see Formula Gary starting next to Bunsell, and on row 7 we've got Jimmy C and Rich Blues. SRI was there for qualifying but unfortunately got disconnected, meaning unfortunately he, like Conrad, he could not take part in the race. Right, let's head over to the track and the commentary team. And joining me on commentary today is James. James, I hope you're well in these difficult times.
Oh, definitely. I've had me waffles. I'm ready to go.
Well, don't go yet. We've got a race to commentate on.
Right, here we go then. SGP on pole, Steve F1 P2. Let's go out and away they go.
Away they do go. Oh, Jason's had a shocker of a start there. Demon R's had a decent start. Cameraman's having a fit already. Mitch having a sneaky look up the inside of Demon R and he's made the move. Mandalorian going massively wide. Oh no, he's going sideways as well. And he just munched Twilight into the ball. Wall. I nearly said pit and wall and it came out ball.
Well, that Marshall's got some balls standing there, I've got to say.
He's got some real blonde hair. I wonder if the curtains match the drapes, if you know what I mean. Carpet matches the curtains. Anyway, Mitch having a look at taking the lead off SGP. Demon R's going to make it 3 wide, is he? No, he decides to back out of it. Mitch is going to try making the move though, when he does, and here comes Demon R. No, he tucks in behind, and David Harp, he's off the track in the foreground. Mitch still, Demon R trying, oh my goodness me. Yeah, good luck today. Can't speak. If I can't speak, we're screwed.
Steve F1's had a shocker, starting P2 on the grid, he's now down.
Oh!
P6. Oh, he's run wide.
He's so nearly binned it then as well.
Yeah, he's down to P8 now, so Fluffy's capitalised. Mandalorian needs to keep it off the AstroTurf, keeps running onto that, and yeah, Demon R now pressuring SGP for P2.
Yeah, that he is through Puon. Very easy to get Puon, very, very wrong, but Demon R all under SGP's rear wing. Mitch is opening up a little bit of a gap at the moment. Tyler not too far away, but yeah, Steve F1 has had a shot. Demon R's run a little bit wide. You have to be so careful doing that. I wouldn't be surprised if we see people spin there today, running wide. Indeed,
because if that AstroTurf isn't slippy enough, there's some gravel to spin you there. Exactly. But yeah, Steve F1 now getting in the slipstream of Mando. This is for P7.
Yeah, who would have thought that with the position that Steve F1 had off the start? And to be fair, Mandalorian had a big crash as well and has managed to recover quite nicely. Mitch has had SGP close that gap in on him a little bit, but actually on the exit of the corner, yeah, he's very slow.
Yeah, I don't know what's happening there. I don't know if he's put it in lean or what he's done. Just run onto the curbs. But if you don't watch out, Tyler's going to have.
I'm actually hearing he hit the limiter and missed his gear shift. So that's what howled. Jason having a look up the inside of Steve F1. That could get interesting as they make their way towards Eau Rouge. But SGP all under Demon R's rear wing now into Eau Rouge Radion. Tyler's really closed that gap. The thing is, you can be too close here.
Yeah, Tyler really just sitting waiting to see which one's going to make the move, and he needs to follow them for the slipstream.
That he does.
SGP making the move on Demon R. No, he's
defending.
Out that early.
Yeah, he looked like he was going for the move. Oh, Demon R's got big sideways. That's going to compromise him. And Tyler sneaks. Yeah, Tyler sneaks past SGP, who was compromised by Demon R, cocking that one up big time. Oh, but Tyler's gone deep.
Oh, shocker there for Tyler, because his tyres now are going to be absolutely filthy, and Fluffy's just going to pound him and put him under pressure.
Yeah. Oh, Tyler's ran wide again. He's going to have to be careful, otherwise Gone Deep's Indian mate Bindit is going to be popping his nasty little head around. Oh, Davey Hop's coming to poo on rather fast there. Fluffy's on a bit of a charge.
Yeah, Steve F1's made his way past Mandalorian, and now he's trying to attack Dave Mahart, which is just behind Fluffy there. Fluffy's in P5 at the moment.
Yeah, well, I know in the last race we saw Davey Harp and Fluffy pretty much on the same piece of tarmac all the way through the race, and Steve F1 is trying to put a bit of pressure on Dave the Harp, but Dave the Harp is having absolutely none of it, or at least not yet anyway.
Yeah, and that's also a crucial corner that we're just running through now. You don't turn in early enough, you can end up slipping wide onto that AstroTurf, as Jason's now having a look at Mando in the background.
Yes, he is, and you can go side by side through Blanchimont in these cars. They've got enough grip to do it, as we have another look at Mitch. Oh, he's going for the pits. So is Demon R, so is SGP at the end of lap 2, so is Tyler. Oh my god, so is Steve F1 and Mandalorian.
I think Steve F1, even if he wasn't looking for the pit lane, he was going in there.
Yeah. What that does mean is, once again, we've got Fluffy and Dave the Harp on the same piece of tarmac, leading the race. This has happened before. Interestingly, Rich run a little bit wide, he's going to have to be careful there. The only thing is, I think Fluffy and Dave may have made a bit of an error staying out at this point. They're going to get undercut massively, but with the amount of people that pitted, as we see them all filing out the pit lane now, SGP has managed to open up a nice gap on Mitch, his massive gap on Mitch, and Mandalorian's actually got behind SGP. So I think the main race order has changed about here, as David Harp is trying to put some pressure on the back of Fluffy. He's absolutely pushing him.
Yeah, indeed. He's trying to get him out of position, put him off into a corner, and there you go, Fluffy turning in early to make sure that Dave the Harp doesn't go for a cheeky move up the inside. So it's all about, in these cars, it's not really on for the late braking moves, and that, there you go, putting Fluffy under pressure so he runs wide is what Dave the Harp will be wanting to see. But further back, I think it's all getting a bit hectic.
Yeah, so there's 4 of the guys that made a pit stop. So SGP, he pitted, so did Mandalorian. Mandalorian's gained places. Demon R has just got past Tyler. Oh, Bonsall, big crash. Where's that? Blanche? Is that Blanche? No, it's on the exit of Poo
back in front of the pack, so SGP will make his way through, but watch out for the pack behind. They will be hunting him down like, I don't know, I was just going to say a ferret, but I don't
do ferrets hunt?
Ferret, can you?
Well, you know what, Bunsel's going to have to be careful though, because he's going to have, his tyres are going to be dirty, they're going to be cold. Mandalorian's all over the back of him. Mandalorian's just nudged the back of him, and then he's gone wide as well. I'm not sure exactly what happened there.
He's almost lost it. I think that's just absolutely popped up Mandalorian's strategy there.
Yeah.
Every position that he gained in the pits has just gone up in smoke.
I didn't realise that Gondik's mate rammed off, was making it to this one. His Russian mate rammed off. David Harp and Fluffy into the pits. I think David Harp had got ahead of Fluffy, I'm not sure. Jason leading the race now with Rich Blues in second place. SGP now third, Demon R fourth, Tyler fifth, Mitch sixth. So the order has definitely changed about a bit. Mitch, who was leading, is now sixth, but that's a net fourth.
Right, okay, so here we go. Mitch giving, I think, Tyler there a little bit of a smack in the rear. What's his name, his Russian friend?
Rammed off,
he nearly rammed off Tyler there, but look at that Marshall, he's got balls of steel.
Do you know what, he reminds me of a bad guy from one of the... Yes, not Lethal Weapon. The other one. Tyler's trying to overtake Demon R, but don't care about
Rocket.
that. No. Bruce Willis.
You mean the Jackal?
Quite possibly. Oh, Tyler's binned it. He spun it. Die Hard. Yes, Die Hard. Oh, Tyler. Tyler's just died hard there. He's had to wait for the whole field to come back past. Sorry, I wasn't interested in the racing for a moment. Then, is that Fluffy? Fluffy and Dave the Arp. Fluffy trying to make the move. Tags the side of Dave the Arp and ends up a little bit sideways. And that's Twilight in front of him as Mandalorian's trying to pressure Steve F1.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah. So Dave the Arp now, after pitting, he's joined the back of the pack. And he'll be making his way through. Steve F1 there running. I think that maybe cut off Mandalorian. I think Mandalorian were waiting for Steve F1 to run wide, and Mandalorian ended up running wide in return. So there we go. I think just managed to hold off Gary there in the Chrome and Union Jack car. Twilight, Silent Assassin is just making his way through.
Yeah, he's got to be so careful though. I mean, it's what Mandalorian did around P1 was the right thing to do, as SGP is closing in on Rich Blues. Rich Blues has not pitted yet. Just a reminder as well, everybody, on Spy Cam today is Fluffy, so you can see how he gets on as Jason heads into the pits. Now, he might be leading the race at the moment, but he's going to be coming out quite far back, because a few of these guys, Rich heading into the pits, yeah, these guys have had 2 extra laps on him, which is potentially anywhere up to 12-second gain.
Yeah, I think we're expecting Jason to come out just around Mitch in P3, so if he does, that'll be an absolute blow for the guys behind.
Yeah, it definitely will. There is Jason coming out of the pits. He's going to come out behind Steve F1, so a little bit further back than you was mentioned, but Rich still in the pits. Let's see. So yeah, Jason's come out behind Steve. That's actually pretty good. He's got a bit of a gap behind him to Mandalorian. The Mandalorian's coming under pressure from Dave the Harp, who is wiggling his way up Eau Rouge.
Yeah, he's definitely on form. Is Dave the Harp. He's got a lot of speed round here, as he did round Monza.
He's gaining.
Yeah, he is gaining. Can he try and make a move on Mandalorian, or is it a bit too late?
You know what, Fluffy's made a lovely move in the background on Twilight there. I think Twilight was being a good dance partner though, but SGP has opened up a decent little lead for himself at the moment, ahead of Demon R, who has now got Mitch behind him, and Jason is closing in on Steve F1, but this is absolutely frantic. I mean, to be fair, James, right, last week's race was absolutely bonkers, brilliant, really captivating, as someone's ran wide again. I think that was Dave the Harp. Yeah, I've got a feeling that this could go a similar way. I mean, we've got what? So Twilight running wide.
Oh, I think somebody in front. I think Dave the Harp run wide.
Yeah, Dave the Harp run wide, Tyler run wide, round Poo on, and it's so easy to do that. You've got to be so careful as well. You try and get back onto the track too quick and you'll end up spinning around. But yeah, I was mentioning Mandalorian a few moments ago when he went out wide. He did the right thing by staying out there. It's just a shame he couldn't just stay out there, park it up and go home. We could have scored some more points.
Yeah, Fluffy now just managing to pull a gap over Tyler, and Tyler's giving him the pressure now.
Steve F1.
Yeah, further up, Steve F1 putting pressure on Mitch. Mitch were really hustling Demon R, so he must have either made a mistake or Demon R's found another gear. I think
Mitch may have made a little bit of an error somewhere, and Steve F1. Oh yeah, Mitch is heading into the pits, is he?
Yeah, I think he is.
Yeah, that's okay. The first pit stop I expected. The second one, that's a surprise. That's real early. I mean, that's 2 pit stops in 10 minutes, and it's a 40-minute race.
I've got no clue what his strategy is, but I hope he does.
Yeah, so do I. Where's he going to come out though? If he comes out behind this pack, he's just in front of it. Is he? No, he's behind it. Oh.
Yeah, he's behind it. So it's crucial now if he's just put some, if his pit crew have made an error, like they've not put tyres on, maybe that's the reason. But yeah,
maybe.
It's
Tyler's
bit of a weird one, but here comes Tyler.
Yeah, Tyler's attacking Fluffy. I'm wondering, whether Mitch has decided to split the race, first 10 minutes and then 30 minutes, as Tyler trying to go around the outside. Can he hold it? That's a lovely move.
Indeed. And Fluffy there, being a very good dance partner, as you say. And SGP is he's having a Sunday drive, as it looks at the moment.
Well, he's just dancing all on his own, isn't he? But
see, these marshals, they're a bit more
brave. Yeah,
a
back
bit
off.
Like me, I'd be well away from these guys. These guys are crazy.
Yeah, that they are. I'm wondering if Demon R is actually closing in on SGP. It does look like he's closing the gap in a little bit, but Steve F1, I mean, we've basically got 3 of the top runners here leading the way at the moment, but Jason pitted 2 laps later and he's not far away. Mandalorian is still there in 5th place. Tyler in 6th. We just saw him past Fluffy. Fluffy, no surprise, he's near Dave the Arp. Dave the Arp, no surprise, he's wiggling. Mitch, I think, has made his way past a couple of guys already, and Jimmy struggling down at the back. I would just quickly mention though, as we are.
Dave the Arp.
Yeah, Dave the Arp's gone off, and Mitch. I'm wondering if Mitch has collected Dave the Arp there, or because Mitch was behind Dave, so I'm wondering if Mitch has perhaps given Dave a bit of a punt.
That's the problem for Mitch. Is you pit, but you've got to be able to make your way as cleanly as possible through the pack. That's the danger that you have of pitting out of sequence. And when you know that everybody else has only just pit a few laps ago, they've also got decent tyres, so they're not going to be as easy. You really want to pit when other guys have been out on the tyres for at least 4 or 5 laps.
Yeah, but if you're going to undercut them by a lap if you can. Oh, Fluffy having a look up the inside of the tyre. I can't quite get it done though. A few people have just pitted, by the way. Mandalorian I saw go into the pits. Dave the Hard made a bit of a late decision to go into the pits, but with a big off going into the pits is not a bad idea. That Marshall is still there, by the way. Just want to mention as well, as we're now 13 minutes into this race, that obviously there is a lot going off in the world at the moment due to the coronavirus, and I must admit I'm not too happy, James, because this weekend I'd got big plans to go to a duck do. I was really looking forward to it, and now I'm not going to be able to go.
Go to a what?
A duck do.
What's a duck do?
Quack quack. I can't believe you fell for that.
Well, I don't know. Mickey's spot is up the inside of Bunsell into No Name. Here we go. If they try it around the outside of No Name, is Bunsell going to push him wide? No, he's managed to make his way through, and here comes Garrett.
Oh, I'm sorry, I've been saving that for 2 weeks. Rich sent me that 2 weeks ago.
What a load of shite. Anyway, here comes Fluffy on Tyler.
Oh, it could be worse. I was told that a mask and gloves would be fine to wear when you go do your shopping at the moment. Turns out you got to wear other clothes as well. Tyler's binned it! Oh no!
Oh, now you better not reverse, because then he'll end up ramming someone off.
I'm giggling to myself there quite
Right. I'll be the sensible one. Here comes Bunsell back on Garrett and Twilight. Can these guys? Is one of these guys quicker than the others? I think Mandalorian's closing in on these 3 that are battling away.
That he is. Twilight gone under pressure, isn't he, from Bunsell? To be fair, I know Mandalorian has pitted recently, a lap ago. So he's going to be heavy on fuel, but potentially fresh tyres. I mean, was that a bit of contact there between Twilight and Garrett? I think Twilight went a little bit deep there.
Bunsell's just tagged the back of Mando there. I think Mando were already having a little bit of a tank slapper, and Bunsell just finished him off there. But here we go, Steve F1 closing in on Demon R.
Yeah, interestingly as well, this battle, if Steve F1 attacks Demon R, SGP gets away. But for Steve F1, he might not mind SGP getting away in this one. He won't want to let Demon R get away in this one, because Demon R's leading the championship.
Yeah, Demon R's the main target. But yeah, Jason, Silent Assassin in 4th place, is just sitting pretty right now, and he's got fresher tyres and probably more fuel than the guys in front.
Yeah, definitely. I've no idea what you just said because I weren't listening. I'm sorry.
What about Jason?
All right.
It's sitting pretty in
Twilight. Yes, absolutely. Twilight got massively out of shape there. That's compromised him big time. Here comes Dave the Arb sneaking around the outside. Yeah, the reason I wasn't listening because you mentioned about Jason being the silent assassin, and I actually Bunsell big sideways. Dave, I think, has just managed to slip through there. It's so easy to get sideways through. Poo on. But yeah, I think I named Jason as the almost silent assassin on the Meet the Drivers banner that was up in race 1 and last week.
Right, okay, so I think...
Did you not know that?
I didn't realise, no.
Do you know what Mandalorians is?
Nut job?
No, the potentialist.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I think Nut job sounds a bit better. But yeah, there, Jason is not far behind these top spots.
Oh, look at this though, look at this. As always in the DGT League, there's not a lot happening up at the front. There's going to be something happening somewhere. Oh, Gary, what happened there? I think
somebody tagged him. I think it was Rich. Rich tagged to the back of Gary. Gary was braking early because they were kind of in front of him. Where's Bunsell going?
I think whatever happened on the way into the braking zone there, I think was still happening through the corner. I mean, one thing I would say is, I couldn't tell what happened there, but if drivers are going to wait for other drivers, you don't have to do it instantly.
Yeah, just
you have to do it somewhere safe.
Get on the long straight, go off the racing line, and slow down.
Yeah. I know sometimes instinct would say, oh, back off, but if you do and it's in a corner or something like that, yeah, you'll get absolutely smashed, and it's your own fault, so you're trying to do the right thing. But I'm not saying that's what did happen, I'm just giving that as advice at the moment. As you'll notice, I'm taking pretty much no notice of what's happening in the race, really. So what is happening, James? You're seeing as you're the sensible one?
What's happening is SGP's pulling away, Demon R's trying to push to get away from Steve F1. Steve F1's probably got about a second gap to him, and then sat in 4th place, sitting pretty, is Jason. He's just loving it, and then the rest of the pack. I think Fluffy Planet currently is in no man's land, and then it's just the pack behind him from Mitch further back. But Mitch is sitting quite pretty in 6th place, but he might have cooked his tyres fighting through the pack. Quite
possibly. I mean, there is Fluffy, as you mentioned, and there is Mitch as well, so they've got a little bit of breathing room. And then Dave the Harp. How many times have we said this? Dave the Harp is at the head of the pack. Oh no, he's got a bit of a gap. He's okay at the moment. He's got a bit of a gap between. So, Mandalorian! Oh, he's got a gap. Oh, Jimmy's off as well.
Oh no, that Jimmy, sorry. Jimmy's gone off as well.
Yep. SGP going for the pits.
I think a few people are losing their heads today, and I wouldn't be surprised. I think I read last time that Mandalorian felt like he'd not been concentrating due to coronavirus. I think he's probably going to be saying exactly the same again today.
I don't know what you mean.
Stop it.
I was going to say SGP is pitted. He had fuel left, but interestingly, we were almost at the halfway point. And I was going to mention, Rich Blues is off at the final chicane. I don't know where he was off to, but he was off. Was it 7 laps? SGP has just done on a full tank, but still had a quarter of a tank left, so probably could have done another 3 laps out of it, maybe. So we could be looking at 10 laps out of a full tank. Interestingly,
he's not even looking that Marshall. He's just like, what's everybody so scared about?
He's not even got a mask on. But yeah, SGP, right? We're 20 minutes into a 40-minute race, and you can do about 10 laps on a full tank. He's got a full tank.
Yeah, exactly. Here we go.
Question for me though, right? Why would Demon R and Steve F1 not follow him in?
Probably because they think that they want to stick out a bit longer, and then they don't have to run in lean as much.
Possibly. I'm thinking that maybe they don't think they could do the 20 minutes, or thinking about it, if it's the next 20 minutes plus another lap, because that could be massively crucial. We've seen that happen before. Yeah,
because like we had the previous race with Demon R running out of fuel on the last lap.
Yeah.
If other people had got over the line as well, it'd have been way down the order. But luckily for him, the cut-off had just happened as he went over the line.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, Tyler, he's on a bit of a charge at the moment as he's closing in on Gary. He's closed in so much he's tagged the back of him. Side by side, they're going to go through Stavolo 1. Tyler's going to have to be careful out there. He's a little bit slippy, but he's survived it. What about Stavolo 2? Oh, that's good driving.
Yeah, and Steve F1, is he following? Yeah, he's following Demon R into the pit lane, so they're covering off from Jason with that extra fuel.
Wow.
Carrying on.
Interestingly as well, right, Demon R had 16% less fuel than SGP, and it doesn't take 1.6 of fuel per lap. SGP's heading into the pits. What on earth? I know.
I don't know.
I know why. I'll get onto that in a moment. I think I might know why, and I'll get my assistant in the pit lane.
Do you think he's fueled up on one lap, and now he's pitting and just putting one lap of fuel in and new tyres?
Yes, not new tyres. He's done new tyres and filled up the tank, but what he's done is done an out lap, getting a big undercut, but now he's just on a pit stop that's taken half a second to top up that extra lap of fuel, and he's come out. Where's he come out? Right,
he's come out in front of him still.
Yeah, so he's managed to do 2 pit stops and still come out in front, so it's tactical. The SGP's showing a little bit of mental awareness here. I'm surprised.
Bloody hell. But I think Dean R's got to have eyes in the back of his arse here, because Steve F1 is all over him like a rash.
Yeah, that he is. Okay, so yeah, Steve F1, by the way, had used up more fuel than Demon R. either that, or he didn't put as much fuel in at the previous previous stop. So maybe Demon R and Steve F1. Oh, this is all getting a little bit frantic as Demon R makes a move past Gary. Someone ran wide just in front of him. I think it was Twilight, as those they're making their way into Poo on. Steve F1 having a look up the inside at Gary into Poo on, but Demon R's rubbered it wide.
Oh, so lucky there. David Atler has run wide.
Oh, and he's now going to get swamped as Demon R and Steve F1 are now side by side, or through College, and Fluffy and Dave are side by side as well, and Rich Blues is there. This is absolutely brilliant stuff. Okay, Davey Hart made a bit of an error in there, but the fact that everybody's got around it and survived it is absolutely cracking. Fluffy's now on a charge. Someone tell him to slow down.
No, I think he needs to keep that pedal to the metal as I think Jason's heading into the pit lane.
Yes, he is. I wondered why we were looking at an empty chicane. So Jason into the pits. Does that mean that Mitch is going to retake the lead of this race, or does he need to stop again? Or this is getting frantic. Demon R's got a little bit of a gap to Steve F1, but Fluffy coming under pressure now from Dave the Harp, who's defending from Mandalorian, who is trying to cover off Rich, who is covering off Gary, who three of those jump into the pits.
Mitch went into the pit lane as well as Jason, so it's crucial. Where does Jason pop out of the pit lane? Is he going to be in front of these guys?
You know what, this is exactly what Demon R needs. Fluffy pressuring Steve F1, because instead of Steve F1 trying to overtake Demon R, Jason's come out right next to Demon R.
Yeah, so he's had a massive jump there. I think with everybody pitting and coming out in the pack, Jason having that free air, just managed to make the most of it. And he's really, to be fair, Jason's undercut Steve F1.
Yeah. What, overcut?
Overcut, sorry.
Yeah.
So that's really, really impressive.
It is here, Fluffy. Oh, and Dave thought about making it 3 wide, but then thought better of it. Steve F1's trying to fight for his life here, and he manages to hold off Fluffy. Fluffy's being compromised, and Dave the Arm trying to sneak through as well, but can't quite do it. This is brilliant stuff. Fluffy now having a look up the inside, but Steve F1 says, no, bugger off, leave me alone.
Right, yeah, that's good defending there from Steve F1, but Fluffy is going to be able to try it round the outside. No, it's just not got the grip at the moment. It's Jason making a move on Demon R.
Yeah, I'm thinking Demon R must have made a mistake there, because to be overtaken on the exit of No Name tends to mean you've made a bit of a boo-boo. So Jason on a bit of a charge now, and Jason has been shown to be extremely quick in the practice sessions, so I'm guessing he's not worried too much about having to pit later than others. SGP has now got himself a little bit of a gap to Tyler or Fluffy. Big twitch through there, through Stavilo 1 there.
Yeah, indeed.
By the sounds of it, Mandalorians, Rich is coming under pressure from Mitch. Yeah, it sounds like James's video has stopped momentarily, but I'm going to have to keep going because Mitch and Rich are side by side through Blanchimont. Bunsell nearly gets out of shape trying to get through it. Tell you what, James, if you try and get yourself to 26 minutes on the clock or something like that, I'll let you know when we're there, because we are at 25, 53, 54, 55. So it'll be 26 minutes in 3, 2, 1 now. So Bunsell crosses the line just ahead of Twilight and Mandalorian. Mitch continues on. That was absolutely frantic into the final corners, and there is that. He is a brave man. I'm not surprised he's wearing ear defenders, to be fair.
Yeah. So right now, just to let you know, I'm at.
Oh, hold on, James. Demon R is closing in on the back of Jason. Is Jason going to go defensive as they make their way down the Camel Straight? Yes, Jason is going to go defensive. What's Demon R going to do? He's going to try and go all the way around the outside. Holy cow! Oh, a little bit of contact between Demon R and Jason there. That's...
He's done it. He's done it. And I'm back up to date with my screen. Right, here we go. It's Steve F1. Is he going to have a look now?
He is trying. You know what? I don't know if Demon R knew there was a little bit of contact there. But to be fair, I think I would say it was a good move. I'm a Demon R groupie. But
you got to be non-biased. You got to be like the BBC.
No,
they're not biased at all.
No. Jason coming under pressure now from Steve F1. And Demon R has opened up a little bit of a gap. So what can these guys do regarding SGP? SGP was ahead of Tyler, but Tyler pitted while you were having your technical issues, James. So Tyler has come out of the pit somewhere outside the top 8, which has created the gap between SGP and second place Demon R now.
Mitch is really close behind Steve F1.
Is he? Where?
Yeah, he's there.
Yeah, all right, okay, he's there. Yeah, he is close. Steve F1 is close to Jason as well. This is fascinating. I mean, Mitch has he had a brilliant start to the race. He's been very unlucky recently with consistency, and he knows that himself. Having in previous races, having made a few errors at critical times, and he knows that that's something that he wants to work on. And at the moment, he's got a little bit of breathing space behind him to Mandalorian to be able to take his time closing in here. SGP has got a bit of a margin, which he might need because he pitted. Well, he pitted before everybody else and then pitted again, so he's got a similar amount of fuel, but he was able to save a lot more fuel earlier on, so maybe he's driving in a way that is going to look after his fuel load, whereas these guys are in a battle, and when you're in a battle you can easily burn juice.
Yeah, and you can easily lose time as well. If these three start fighting, that's going to allow Mitch in on this battle. As here we go, Jason trying the same move that Demon did on the previous lap, but he just not got the grip there. I think he just needed a few more metres of slipstream in order to pull that move off. They were just a touch too far back, and Demon says no chance.
Yeah, exactly. But this is still a fascinating battle, and to be fair, I think Jason is currently sitting on track in a round where we would expect him to be.
Indeed.
I mean, we know he's good enough to be up at the sharp end.
Indeed, but this is the first time I've seen this season him actually, be as competitive as we know he can be.
Yeah, I wonder if that's because this is obviously it's an F1 track, and it's a track he's used to. Or Tyler, so I mentioned earlier about Tyler pitting. He's pitted and he's trying to attack Dave. Where's Fluffy? Yeah, Fluffy's not too far away from Dave. I'm pretty sure they've got a rope tied between the two of them.
Ooh, there we are. Want to get off that AstroTurf? You do not want to be out there. You can easily push that throttle a bit too hard and end up facing the wrong way.
Yeah, that you can. Mandalorian has broken a little bit of a gap here to Twilight. Tyler is trying to pressure Dave, but here comes Bunsell. Fluffy's there as well as Jason, not quite close enough to have a look at Demon R. Steve F1 not quite close enough to have a look at Jason. Oh, is that somebody going into the pits?
Demon R? Was that Demon R going in pit?
It was.
Right. I think he's spotted a gap, to be fair. There's a gap between Mitch and Mandalorian. So if he can pit and come out in front of these guys and have brand new tyres, that would make all the difference.
Not only that, oh, there he is coming out of the pits as well. So okay, so he's given up second place to come out in fifth place, but if he's just put a little bit of fuel in, which means he does not have to worry about fuel at all, that's a game changer. Coming out where he has done, Mitch and Steve F1, they're going to be battling now. I wouldn't be surprised if Demon R can close this gap quite quickly, but we'll have to wait and see. But you could be right, James, if he's got fresh tyres as well. Holy cow. Steve F1 and Mitch side by side. Mitch trying to go around it. Oh, Steve F1! He's gone straight on! Oh!
Yeah, I think Steve F1 is going to have to give that position up, because that seemed a touch rude there.
Yeah, you know what, and I think he is doing as well. I think he's realised he's made a bit of a boo-boo there, but here comes Demon R as well. So Demon R, having made a pit stop, he may not actually lose out much at all if he can get past Steve F1 here.
If he can get back in front of these two, he'll have only lost a couple of positions, and but they need to watch out because the pack is not too far behind.
Oh,
Demon R.
He's got on the curb. Oh, where's he going?
Where is he going? He needs to watch out. He needs to look at his mirrors because Mandalorian's right there.
You know what? He got on the apex curb a bit too much there, and that then sent him wide. Oh, that's ruined it for him now as Fluffy's going wide in the background as well. Mandalorian will be saying thank you very much. But yeah, for Demon R, that's disaster. He was in a brilliant situation, and now he's absolutely. We need a new friend of gone deep and binned it and rammed
I don't know, but Mandalorian needs to turn his indicator off.
Well, yeah.
I don't think he's realised it's on. But yeah, this is mental a bit further back. Here we go. I think this is Gary, Fluffy and Tyler fighting away.
That it is. Everybody staying on the track through Blanchimont there. Lovely to see David. Oh, Fluffy and Tyler side by side. But you know what? This is good driving. From what I've seen in... This sounds bad saying that from what I've seen in the past, but I'm not seeing the big mistakes. I mean, that's not to say that it's not happening, but I am seeing some really good driving from the guys out here today, which means sure I've cursed it, haven't I?
You have cursed it. There's going to be a car crash the size of Mount Everest on its way. But yeah, no, I've got to say, yeah, I think we're going to have to call him Iceman, that Marshall. Oh, Gary absolutely running over top of Eau Rouge, and Fluffy needs to realise there's a car at the side of him, cannot be wiggling like that. And but yeah, it's Gary. Barry. Who's Barry? Gary's backs out of that one. I was thinking Barry from EastEnders there.
Chuckle.
Yeah, that'll be it. That'll be Gary's new name, Gary Chuckle.
Who's that? Was that Twilight having making a move on Jimmy in the background there. A little bit difficult to see who it was from so far away then. But Fluffy needs to try and make a move on Tyler.
Demon R just run again onto that AstroTurf through No Name, and you do not want to be out there.
No, he's popping. I'm wondering if he may have cooked his... Oh, Jimmy's out wide as well as Tyler and Fluffy side by side. Tyler's got the inside line. It is the better line to have through the right-hander, but if Fluffy can hang it around the outside, he'll have the inside for the next corner. That's beautiful driving once again from the pair of these two.
Oh, that would absolutely textbook that from Fluffy. He'd already got Tyler under pressure and he'd run wide as he ran down the hill, and yeah, just absolutely capitalised around the outside. That were a lovely move as Demon R now trying to close back in on Mando. I'm surprised he's not made his way past him yet.
Yeah, Mandalorian I think may have been looking in his mirrors there. Fluffy trying to get a bit of a gap between him. Demon R's all over the place at the moment. I think he's cooked his tyres. He's wiggling all over the place. Tyler, Mandalorian's gone deep. He's decided to go and see what the grip's like over there. He's going to have to be careful here because the whole pack is coming.
Oh, Bunsell.
He's stuck. Bunsell was unlucky there. He made the wrong choice, unfortunately.
Yeah, to be fair there, Mandalorian were very, very lucky not to be reset. I were expecting him to disappear and end up further back there.
Bloody SGP has got an absolutely monstrous lead over Jason at the moment. He's been absolutely brilliant today as SGP, I've got to say. Let's see, Fluffy, he's pulled away from Tyler. Twilight and Mandalorian side by side through Eau Rouge, up over that. Old Mandalorian.
I think he had to back out of that because he knew that if he'd have made the overtake on the left, that'd have been oh, this is mental. That'd have been a dodgy overtake, so he had to back out of it in order to look up the inside. But Twilight's got the grip and he's got the move.
That he has, and Mandalorian nearly losing the rear end. Bunsell and Gary were doing a bit of bump drafting to these guys a moment ago as well. Mandalorian now having a look up the inside. Twilight sees him coming. Is Twilight going to be able to hang it all the way around the outside and have the inside for No Name? Yes, he is. What's going to happen through No Name? I don't know, because we're looking at Fluffy.
I think Mandalorian's managed to go around the outside and he's in front of...
Fluffy! No!
That's the worst place to lose it. The worst place.
Yeah, that's painful. That's painful. You know what? Fluffy was, as mentioned, he was pulling away from Tyler, and he was actually closing in on Demon R a little bit, and we're into the last 5 minutes of the race. You know, Fluffy's going to be absolutely kicking himself. Bunsell a little bit wide there as Mandalorian has managed to get ahead of Twilight. At least now I know why obviously that cameraman was a little bit of a psychic. As David Hart runs wide. SGP though, he's coming through the final chicane. He's got, 4 minutes, so it's going to be another 2 laps maybe. Jason's doing absolutely brilliantly, but he's probably 10 seconds behind SGP? Maybe not that much.
Yeah, I think we'd normally expect. Oh god, here we go. Davey Hart, where's he going?
I hope he wanted the pits because he's going in them.
I don't think he was going into pit lane. I think he went too far right of the pit lane.
Oh no! I'm wondering if Fluffy was inside Dave then. I know I said they've been getting close recently, and last week I said they should get
that's as close as you can get, isn't it? Getting inside of each other.
Exactly.
But yeah, Fluffy, if he hadn't got bad luck, he hadn't got any luck, has he?
No, not at all. what have we got now then? Twilight coming under pressure from Formula Gary. Mandalorian closing in on Tyler, having a look up the inside. Gary having a look, Mandalorian backs out of it. That's going to allow Twilight to close in on him. Jimmy coming through there as well, and Bunsell. Mandalorian really trying to push it on the back of Tyler, but Tyler's doing really well at the moment. May feel he should have been further up, but I do know he has, even though we've not seen it, he has had a couple of moments throughout the course of this race. I just want to keep an eye on that clock though, because last week you may have noticed we were so busy watching the race we didn't even realise it was over.
No, no. So yeah, I think we will get one more lap after this. I'm pretty sure we will. As yeah, we're just having a look at Mandalorian now, really hustling Tyler. I think through the fast corners, I think that's where Mandalorian is quicker. But yeah, right now, can Tyler just keep in front? And if anything, Twilight's closing back in.
He is. You know what though? I prefer Marge. But yeah, Mandalorian doing well.
Yeah, indeed. So here we go.
You've no idea what reference I've just made, have you?
I've got no clue. I don't know.
Butter.
Yeah. Butter. Oh. I thought I said Homer or something, and then you said Marge. So like, oh, right.
Okay, so
but
SGP.
yeah, look at that gap.
Yeah, that's. I've got to say that's impressive. And if he does need to save any fuel, he's got the gap to do it. You know what? I'm wondering whether fuel has had anything to play with this here. Demon R, we know, did the additional pit stop to be safe on fuel. I'm wondering if Jason or Steve F1's lost loads of time to Demon R. Demon R's close. I'm wondering if Steve F1 has realised he's got to save a bit of juice.
Well, he should have been able to realise that a few laps ago, because right now the last thing you want to do is be saving fuel on the last lap.
Yeah, definitely. Demon R's close enough. He's got a decent run here. Steve F1 are going defensive already, but we've already seen Demon R go around the outside of Jason through the camel chicane, and he's going to have another look, but Steve F1 covers it off, going for a bit of a switchback and a double switchback, but a little bit of a touch between the two of them, and that's I think that's compromised it. Yeah, not a lot Demon R can do there. Steve F1 defending that beautifully. I don't think Demon R's going to be able to do anything about that unless...
The tight, twisty section on this hill is the key thing, because if Demon R gets a good enough run, on the AstroTurf, that's not going to help his cause, but if he can get a good run running onto the back straight that's not really a straight, I think he'll be passed.
Oh, he's wide though, he's wide. Oh, you know what, it's interesting, you go a little bit wide through No Name and Puon becomes even more difficult because of the dirty tyres, but in the background we've got all this going on, so even though SGP is under no threat whatsoever at the moment for the victory, these are all under threat.
Yeah, Davey Arp absolutely went in there like a bat out of hell, and yeah, he's now having a look at Jimmy. Jimmy's looking in a decent position here on the final lap.
He is. So as SGP makes his way towards the final chicane, it looks like it is going to be 2 wins in a row for him. Did he win the last race? I can't remember. I don't know, but he's going to win this one. It takes victory then here at Spa. Absolutely brilliant from SGP. Jason out of nowhere, brilliant pace around this track. He's going to take second place. And Mitch, he's got his consistency much better this time around. Will take third place. Steve F1, can he hold on to fourth? It looks like he will. Demon R fifth, and then good luck with this. Tyler, Mandalorian, Dave the Hart, Bunsell, Twilight, yep, Formula Gary, Jimmy, Fluffy, Rich, what you doing out there, my friend?
I don't know.
I don't know, Frodo.
I don't know. Yeah, what an absolutely crazy race. But as you say, the strategy of the day was SGP pitting, getting all his fuel on, and then the lap after just topping up that tank and only literally costing him like a second. And that just were a game changer, because all that time that Demon R and Steve F1
and Rich crosses the line just in style. I will say, if you're going to handbrake it over the line, as Formula Gary has been finding out in practice sessions, if you're going to handbrake it over the line, make sure you get over the line. Sorry, yeah, you were saying.
But that strategy of pitting, spending all the time topping up the fuel tank and getting new tyres, but then the outlap, because you're at the back, you're with the boost, you're gaining a lot of that time back.
Yeah.
and so that when the guys in front have to pit and do their long pit stop, you only have to pull in, literally top the tank up for a second and go. And he just jumped a lot of them and absolutely ran away with that one.
Yeah, I must admit, it's not a strategy that anybody else looked like doing. I mean, it looked like Mitch was on some kind of different strategy early on, with doing 2 pit stops in the first 10 minutes. It looked like Steve F1, Demon R were pretty much like, well, they were both on pretty much exactly the same strategy until Demon R did the additional pit stop, and had he not messed up, may have been able to get more out of it. But I mean, I've got to say, well done to SGP. They absolutely blew it out of the water. And for me, for Jay, I mean, if it hadn't been for SGP's perhaps ingenuity in that one, I bet his missus came up with that strategy. He can't have thought of that one.
No chance.
Yeah. Yeah, but if it wasn't for the way SGP drove that race, Jason would have ran away with it.
Yeah, indeed. So this is really, really, to be fair, we said Demon R needs to have a little bit of a shocker to make this championship interesting, and P5's not a shocker, but it's enough to really turn the tide in the championship. And SGP, I think he's going to be right up there now with Demon R.
Yeah, quite possibly. Going to mention as well, we are going to be showing the drivers' post-race comments again. I would say to the drivers, try and keep them short. It's got to fit in the space and the time. But
Demon R's are quite long, I've got to say.
It's because he asked me to make them up for him. Yeah. You should see SGPs from this week. Holy cow!
They're always in French. I can never understand it. I just think, forget that.
Yeah. Well, they're not always in French. They're in the native tongue of the location of the circuit.
Oh,
yes, yeah. I was going to mention though. There was something I was going to mention about that. Yeah, you mentioned. All right, okay. Demon R finishing 5th. Quite interesting. How many points for 5th place? Well, it's 20 for a win, 17 for 2nd, 15 for 3rd.
10? 10 or 12?
30. It's about 11 or 10, right? And SGP was about 10 points behind Demon R.
Yeah.
So that could have just really closed that in. But not only that, Jason's been having a couple of decent results, so he's going to have moved up a bit. Mandalorian's had a sixth place.
I think the past 2 weeks, Mandalorian's gone off the boil a bit. He was good in the first. First 2 rounds, but he's gone off the boil in the last 2.
It's that coronavirus.
Yeah, I think it's messing his head up.
But I mean, Steve F1. I think he's had a win. He's had a couple of tough races. That's right. Last week had an absolute shocker. Somehow won. Race before that had an absolute shocker. Finished about 12th. It's going to be interesting to see what happens going forward, because. I mean, over the course of this championship so far, Dave the Harp's won a race, shown he has the ability to win races. Jason has won races before, and in this race has shown he's got the ability to be up there to win races. Mandalorian has won races, and we know he can win. Steve F1 can win. Demon R can win. SGP can win. And there's a good chance that the likes of Mitch, a win is not far away. Tyler, a win is not that far away. And for the likes of Fluffy, if Fluffy had a bit more luck, he'd probably win. But it's just not to be at the moment. I think he needs a t-shirt making Why Always Me.
Yeah, I think Fluffy, we saw that move that he did round the outsides at the top of the hill, and that was just pure class. So I don't think Fluffy needs to worry too much. Yeah, the points might not be showing his true form, but when it all clicks, it'll all come together. So I don't think Fluffy really needs to be worrying too much.
No, I'd agree with that one. Progression, and there's definitely progression, that's for certain. I know it's been a difficult race for a few of the guys a little bit further back, but I mean, sometimes racers can just run away from you. That's what racing is about. I mean, the way I see it is, every time you're on the track, as long as you learn something, that's a good thing. It's been a good day at the office.
Indeed. So I'm trying to think, what's the next race? What's the next round?
The next track, I think it's the shortest track on the championship, which is Sardegna Road A, I think. I can't remember. It's the short Sardegna circuit anyway. Very fast track, very flowing track. Only really two biggish braking points. That's the final corner and turn 1. Overtaking could be difficult, but can be done. But it's only about 48 seconds a lap around there, so it's gonna be a lot of laps. So that's a circuit where, because it's a little bit like with Monza can really bunch a field up because it's such a fast track, and time wise it's not very long. And this is going to be similar, I think. Whereas like race around Le Mans and things can get spread out a little bit, I think at this next track it could be really bunched up and anything could happen. Just to remind you folks, this is the location of Radrian's wall, turn 4 exit wall. If you end up in that, you could easily end up facing the wrong direction and just watching everybody pile past you. You'll go from 120 to 0 in a matter of a fraction of a second, so it's going to be worth getting the practice in around that track. And I mean, what I would say is, I know a few of the guys with stuff that's going on at the moment are trying to be available online whenever anybody wishes, so if people do want to get some practice in, all they've got to do is ask. So yeah, other than that, I don't know what else to say about it. It
was just another really good race. I think if anything, Demonar's been really consistent. I think he's finished P2 for the first 3 races and then finished P5, so he's, I think, really got to have a challenger. And I think SGP and Steve F1, hopefully they are going to give him a good battle, because we don't want one driver just pulling away in the championship and then you've got nothing to really focus on. And right now, I think anybody who's within 20 points of the leader, you're still in the hunt for the championship. Yeah, because if there's anything that we've learned from this season so far, is anyone can bin it. Anyone can win it and anyone can bin it, and it is a massive. I mean, okay, take Jason for example. I'm not sure exactly where he is in the standings at the moment, but if he's say 15 points off SGP and Jason wins a race and SGP bins it, all of a sudden Jason's leading the championship. So there's so much to play for, and considering that both SGP and Steve F1 beat Demonar last championship, I think it's about time Demonar got his finger out and tried to win a race this season. I'm sure it'll come. I'm pretty sure. I don't know. We'll have to see how he gets on at his duck do. Aye. Quack. Quack. You know you're going to use that though. You're going to have to use that. I knew there was a joke coming out. I was thinking it's going to be really, really, funny. And then when you went quack, oh, fuck's sake. The thing is though, loads of people watching this are going to find that funny. Anyway, it's almost last week's were brilliant as well. Getting Ray last week was absolutely brilliant. But anyway, I'm sure I will actually mention, right, for any of the guys, if you've got any of these like really kind of dodgy jokes, feel free to send them me. If I can get the co-commentators with them, I will. Okay, I think it's time to check out the confirmed race result and the championship standards. So James, thank you very much for joining us on commentary. No problem at all. And stay safe everybody, don't go panic buying stuff or just randomly hoarding too much stuff. I mean, panic buying would be if you were buying things like rolling pins when you don't even bake, but yeah, save some loo roll for the elders, of which I'm potentially classed as. I'm 40 this year, so yeah, I'm an elder. So anyway, right, have a good one everybody, and let's check out that result. So here we go then, confirmation of the race result, and by the looks of it, no penalties applied. There was a report or two, but you can check that out on the DGT Facebook page. So SGP takes the win, Jason second place, Mitch in third for his first podium, Steve F1 just ahead of Demon R in fourth and fifth,
just ahead of Tyler in 6th. Mandalorian finished 7th with Dave the Harp in 8th. Where's Fluffy? Surely he's near Dave the Harp. Sadly not on this occasion. Bunsel finishes in 9th, just ahead of Twilight in 10th and Formula Gary in 11th. Jimmy in 12th place ahead of Fluffy, who did have that bit of an error in the last few moments. Disastrous finish for Fluffy there. Rich Blues takes 14th place, and as I mentioned at the very start, SRI was there for qualifying but got disconnected, and unfortunately if you get disconnected or exit during qualifying, you cannot get back in to take part in the race, which is a bit of a shame, but not a lot we can do about that. However, SGP taking his 2nd win of the championship, and I wonder what that will have done to the championship standings. Demonar had a 10-point lead at the start of this event, and now he only has a 1-point lead, so he is still leading top of the table on 62 points, but SGP right behind him on 61. That has just really made this interesting. Steve F1 in 3rd place now on 50 points, and to be honest, the way this championship going, still definitely in it. Mandalorian's just ahead of Dave the Harp and Tyler, and Jason gets himself up to 7th place with that fantastic result. Mitch now sitting in 8th place, just ahead of Twilight in 9th, and then we've got Fluffy and Bunsel sharing 10th place on 23 points. Rich Blues is ahead of his good friend Formula Gary, only by the 1 point though, but I think they'll battle that out till the end of the championship. Jimmy also not too far away in 14th place on 10 points. Groover sitting in 15th, may not be able to race for the remainder of this championship with everything that's going on at the moment. He is having to do a lot of work, and we hope he is keeping well and safe. SRI sitting in 16th place on 6 points, and Conrad, who is a reserve this season, on 17th place on 2 points. Okay, next race is at one of the Sardegna circuits. It's been scrolling across the top of the screen once again, folks. So it's the short one, it's the fast one. I think we're going to be looking at about 48 to 50 lap race in the 40 minutes. Who's going to be quick? I've no idea. Who's going to win? I've no idea. Who's going to take the title? I've no idea. And that is exactly how you want your racing. Unpredictable. Okay, thanks for watching, and make sure you come and check us out next week to see how round 5 goes. Stay safe, everybody. Have a good one, and just think, all those times you wanted to not be at work, now you don't have to be. Have a good one, everybody. See you again soon.